Hello, Fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of April 2017. Looking at life and love, I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, it's all about Venus retrograde season, and Venus is especially highlighted this month. Such an important planet this month for a few reasons. One, of course, is the fact that it's a pivotal moment as part of the Venus retrograde season we've been in for most of this year. You add the fact that both the full moon mid-month and the new moon late month are ruled by Venus, meaning that have a natural connection to the planet Venus. Well, it makes what's happening with Venus that much more important and that much more a symbol of how all of us are going to be going through important changes and important moments of vulnerability and honesty. Mid-month is when Venus is going to, in some ways, hearken to mimic some of her steps that started this whole Venus retrograde cycle way back in late January. And that is happening with Venus actually standing close to Chiron in the sky and reaching out to Saturn as she changes directions. Saturn is going to be standing still, your ancient ruling planet, standing still in the sky and going retro. As I look at the sky, for a lot of people out there, vulnerability where it comes to relationships, where it comes to love, truth, even when it's hard, where it comes to love. For you, it's going to be very self-oriented, very oriented on self-esteem issues, self-value issues, and how it is ultimately that you see yourself. And wherever it is that your own sense of worthiness has determined where you are right now in love, which is often the case, but right now, that sense of how you got yourself where you are right now, well, that's going to be especially heightened now. But that's where the power is, because that means that you are taking responsibility for your current state of affairs in the context of love. You are the one who is deciding ultimately where it is that you can actually affect change for the better. Whether that is you that has created a particular situation and you that is going to take ownership for changing it, whether that change means being a different type of person within an established bond, whether that change means choosing different types of people in the future, that is going to depend on your individual and your unique circumstances. But with this particular sky, the focus very much is on matters of self-esteem and matters of self-value and really looking at your own choices. Now, for a lot of you, yes, that's going to be very heart-based, very relationship-based. For others of you, though, there's going to be a strong financial element to this energy. So a lot of this is going to really come down to how is it that you are making your money? Do you like the way you're making your money? Do you feel like your heart is in it? Do you feel like you are getting what you really believe you're worth? Do you feel like you could be giving more love and getting more in return? Do you feel like you truly are aligned with a path of love? Are you feeling like what it is that you are getting in return truly matches what it is that you deserve to get in return? So these issues of self-value, self-esteem, self-worth are going to come about through the symbol that is money. That is going to become the outlet from which you are going to understand these lessons. For a small percentage of you out there, love and money is going to find a mix. And where it is that you feel like you may be compensating a little bit, like maybe putting in money where instead you should feel like you are enough. And I hate to put it like that, like you should feel a certain way. You feel what you feel. That's okay. You can accept what you feel. But wherever it is that maybe you haven't been fully owning just you being enough and feeling instead like you need to compensate for that financially, you are going to recognize that a little bit more clearly and start making some clearer distinctions that ultimately move you in a direction of owning your inherent worthiness rather than needing to bring something additional to the table to make somebody else love you. Because at the end of the day, if someone's going to love you, They're going to love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And I know that that's hard to understand and that's hard to hear sometimes, but really, people make all kinds of decisions where it comes to love that have nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. You do your best, of course. You strive to be a good person, a kind person. You strive to move yourself towards greater love and greater wisdom. But at the end of the day, people make all kinds of choices that have nothing to do with you. And knowing who you are and knowing what you're worth and the value of what you bring really is the absolute best that you can do to be lovable, period. And after that, what someone else does is not about you, has nothing to do with you. So you've got to allow other people their own process, which is about their own lives and their own decisions and all the things that happen right up until that moment that they saw you in that second, and even all the other seconds when they're not right in front of you, and all the things that are happening in their mind, right? There are these infinite things that happen that have nothing to do with you, and all these interpretations that are based on things that you have no control over. You cannot make someone love you no matter what. They're either going to love you or they will not. And that is about them, and it is not about you. And then you have these rare, beautiful karmic moments where things come together and two people love each other, and they love each other for as long as it's meant to be. And you learn what you're meant to, and you know in your heart and your soul when it is time to move on to your next lesson. If that time is now, you will know. And if that time is not now, you will know that as well. Whether you're in an established bond, whether you're open to meeting somebody new, it is about your worthiness that is highlighted now. It is not always, that is not always the lesson, but right now, worthiness is very much in focus for you. Now, when I look at the particular lunar events that are taking place, which are particularly important now, we have this full moon happening mid-month in fellow earth sign Libra. This is happening in a part of the sky that has to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher education. It has to do with legal issues as well. It is standing across Uranus. It is speaking in harmony with Saturn, quite close to Jupiter as well. So there's an element here of luck. There's an element here of connecting with someone else and really feeling a sense of things moving very quickly in a very fortunate connection. So if a very happenstance connection happens with someone who lives far away or someone who travels from far away, make sure you connect. You may end up going exceptionally well. You may end up being very happy with it. And if you get a chance to travel, to be somewhere else, if you feel inspired to go, trust it. It does look like it end up being exceptionally well. If there are any kind of interview situations that show up in regards to any of these higher education, legal matters, immigration matters, then this could be a good time to actually go and use this energy to your advantage in that regard. As we get to the end of the month, we've got a new moon happening in a part of the sky that has to do with home. So it's a good time to visit the family right about the late part of the month. So go home, visit your family, or just spend time at home. Like just nurture your own home environment, enjoy the space that you are in. Generally speaking, normally it's a good time to do things like buy, sell, move. However, Mercury is retrograde. It's a Mercury retro month, and Mercury's going to be moving like in and out of the base of your chart. And so I can't say moving is the best thing to do right about now. You might just change your mind. So maybe don't sign any contracts where it comes to moving or buying or selling and things like that. But having said that, it's not a bad idea to think about just where you are and, you know, maybe doing a little bit of renovating. Renovating can go actually really well when you've got Mercury retrograde moving through the base of your chart. So if you've got any kind of renovating to do on the home front, you might actually really like the results. What I love about this month for you is that understanding of how much of love and how much of life really is about how you see yourself. There's this delicate balance, right? Not everything that happens is about you. Not everything that everyone does is about you. But there is this balance between what you allow is about you. What you think is okay, what you permit, does say something about how you see yourself. Well, this is your chance to get that moment of reflection and to get that honest self-assessment. Love is going to be one powerful avenue to see just how it is that you see yourself more clearly. And with that renewed perspective, with that whole other contemplation, you get to root yourself with a stronger sense of self-esteem. And from that place, the choices you make truly are ones of power. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video just like this by logging on to astrofabulous.com and signing up to be an Astrofabulous Superstar. Superstars get exclusive video scopes available to superstars only at astrofabulous.com each and every week. So each and every week you get a video scope for your sign available to superstars only. Log on to astrofabulous.com for instant access or nadiyashah.com. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for it. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.